Welcome back to another episode of Nothing Savvy. Today's episode is going to bring you a recap of week 2 college football and week 1 of NFL. A little bit of fantasy football going on, and we're always going to shout out the Texas sports in our area. All right, let's get into it.
Let's
Week
go.
week 2 of college football. Man, was it a week. It was great. It's always great. Football's great. Everything's great. A lot of blowouts. Ton of blowouts. You got those teams playing the FCS schools. I got a shout out for those FCS schools because those guys really stick in there and get. I mean, they're there for a reason. They get paid a lot of money. I don't even know what their amount is. It was like 300,000 back in the day when we were in high school and stuff. And now I think it's in the millions. I think they're getting just paid to get beat by 70 points and not even score a touchdown. But
It's unreal. You know, you
yeah,
see you see the first couple weeks of college football, and I applaud the teams that actually play someone that's not a cupcake because it's just not great viewership in my opinion. I love watching my team go out there and blow someone out, but 2 3 weeks in a row, all right, kind of gets old at that point.
yeah, yeah. That's the first game with Nebraska, the Cincinnati game. I was actually worried because I was like, I haven't seen Nebraska play an actual team, like a Power Four team, right out the gate in a very long time. So I was like, oh man, and it was a nail biter. It was a bit of a stressful game, but then we come out and we play an FCS school and absolutely destroy them, and it was so much fun. So yeah, that was a good week for Nebraska, and I hope they can keep it up. We got another cake game in week 3, and then we got Michigan. So let's hope that goes well. Week 2, what did you say?
No, there's a lot of big games. You're already beat me to the point. Week 2, a lot of big games, on the agenda there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these matchups.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a huge week 3. Week 2, right off the bat, I kind of want to talk about Arch. That Texas game was better. I feel like Arch did a way better job than he did in week 1, but I'm not sold on him, and I think I'm only not sold on him because of how much hype he got. I think he gets a lot of criticism. He is young, and I was looking up because someone kept telling me he's only been there 2 years, blah blah blah, and I was like, no, he's been there 3 years. He redshirted his first year, and then backed up yours, and then now he's starting. And yeah, he is young, but he looks like he's in pain when he's throwing. I
Hey,
don't know.
I agree. It's like there's something off. I don't know if they're not doing. I feel like they're not complimenting his attributes, what he's good at. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's the wrong offense for him, or if they're not just getting the right lineups. Like against certain defensive sets. But it it's hard when he has all this hype and all the attention's on him. You expect greatness out the gate, and like you said, I think he looked better. It wasn't necessarily against a huge opponent like week 1, but I don't know. He's going to be someone we continue to talk about and watch every single week. And if he comes back and eventually gets to the point to where that hype is deserving, then kudos to him. But overall, I'm still not. I'm still not on the Arch train just yet.
yeah. I I want him. I want to see him play comfortable. I haven't seen him play comfortable yet. He looks so tense in the pocket. His form looks a little wonky. They were breaking it down the other day, saying how his stride's too long, and I agree with that. I mean, that's why the ball's going straight into the ground. He's throwing right at their feet, and he didn't do that last year when he started that. That wasn't a very good team they played, but still, he should have been doing what he did against San Jose State. He had 4 touchdowns, and I think it was a really good game for him to try to get comfortable. I think he has a little bit more to go, but I want him to be good. It pains me to say that because he plays for Texas, but I want Arch to succeed. So,
I think he'll get his footing. I mean, he has all the tools and resources around him. I mean, he has the last name. And so if he doesn't, then that's just going to be another thing to talk about. Like, why is Arch not living up to that hype?
yep. I think they did like a comparison to him and either Eli or Peyton in like their first starting game or something like that, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Things to look
Um,
forward to.
Huge shout out to USF.
Man.
Who is this team? I don't.
the
Where is
2
this
weeks in
coming
a row.
from?
2
Yeah.
weeks in a row. Like, do they have some sneaky roster that no one knew about? Is this early luck? I'm in disbelief right now.
Yeah, I could not believe, and the thing of it was we knew Boise State after seeing that game, we're like, "Wow, never should have been in the top 25." Still don't know why they're we'll talk on the top 25 in a little bit, but, uh, we knew they shouldn't have been in there, and then they go out and beat Kansas, and Kansas is supposed to have this great quarterback, and I'm just like, I didn't see anything from the Kansas quarterback that impressed me very much unless USF's defense is just that good. But yeah, that USF quarterback is carrying that team on his back, and he is a monster of a human. Again, just an absolute beast and a dog of a human.
He is.
It's
He's a guy that you wonder if all these big schools might start poaching. I don't know what year he is, but man, maybe an early Heisman favorite. I don't know, but he's a dog.
yeah, it's they have Miami next week, so another. I mean, 3 teams in a row. I mean, that's a hard schedule for USF. I mean, they're not a super power school, and like they're scheduling 3 tough games right off the bat.
Good for them. They're
Good
not the
for them.
cupcake everyone thought they were.
Hey, good for yeah, yeah, exactly. They were the cupcake team.
Yep.
Another, huge Heisman guy that I feel like nobody's really talking about. I don't it's just there's so much going on in college football. The USC quarterback. That guy is an absolute monster as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, he's been on a tear early on. He's looking great. And
oh, yeah.
so, they tend to underperform as the years go on. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up this pace, but man, that kid has been outstanding so far. It's been a pleasure to watch, and we'll see how some of these early quarterback races for the Heisman, continue to go throughout the season. But another guy to definitely keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna butcher this last name. His name is Jaden Mayava or Mayava, whichever it is. He has 707 yards, 6 touchdowns, and a 96 quarterback rating after 2 games. This last one was a pretty much of a cakewalk, but I mean, the dude's
that's
balling out.
that's unreal. I mean,
I think he's got the most passing yards right now,
if he doesn't,
at
he's
the end
up
of week
there.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those numbers don't lie. You're putting the ball on the money every time. You're doing what you have to and executing.
What game for you stood out in week 2 for
Uh,
college football?
I think the biggest one for me was going to be watching Baylor take down SMU. There was
Good
that
game.
what double overtime game
Yep.
there. SMU has a lot of hype. This year, leading in from last year. The fact that they were able to come out and take them down was pretty good. So I've definitely, that was probably my biggest takeaway from the week there is watching them take down SMU.
Oh, yeah. Baylor's quarterback, 34 for 50, 440 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's a good game.
Goodness.
That's a really good game. That was a crazy game. Big rivalry this week too, as well as Iowa and Iowa State. Both these teams I'm not really sold on. Iowa State I'm not sold on. You beat Kansas State, and then Kansas State goes and loses to Army. Army lost to Tarleton, and I'm just like, they're ranked number 16, and this is top 25 again. It's just too early to rank these people this high. I mean, the preseason hype is starting to be like an absolute disaster for the top 25.
None of it
It's
makes
horrible.
sense. There's
It
all these
doesn't.
teams up there that I don't understand why they're there. I think you're starting to see some of them drop out, but for some reason they're still getting the recognition to stay in there, even though they shouldn't.
Mhm.
I think after 4 or 5 weeks, we'll start to see the rankings be a little more true.
Oh, yeah.
Once we kind of get into some more division play or conference play, that is, people facing off against some better opponents.
Yep. Yes, sir. Uh, what else you got for week 2? Anything else standing out for you?
Uh, just seeing how Oklahoma does. They were able to contain Michigan, pull out that impressive win there. That's not an easy, an easy school to take down there. So the fact that Oklahoma's now in the SEC and be able to come out and beat a a big team like Michigan. I was definitely impressed with that there. Um, another team that we're still keeping an eye on is Florida State. They've been 2 weeks in a row really, really good.
They look so scary. I was thinking the other day, is like if Nebraska did something crazy, because Michigan doesn't look that amazing unless Oklahoma's that good. And if Nebraska comes out, screws around, and somehow makes it into playoffs or something, and I'm like, if we run into Florida State, I might hide in a hole. I might not even watch that game. Like it would, that was just me just thinking of the future, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that team looks so good.
Yeah.
I mean, that,
Uh, yeah. No, I think that's the last team anybody wants to look at right now when
yeah,
it comes to like a game that matters is Florida State. If they continue the role they're on, they're going to easily
mm,
crack the top 10 into the top 5 and maybe that top 3 ranking here pretty soon. And so it's I mean, I know they're already highly ranked, but still it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them for the remainder of the season, especially after that horrendous year they had last year.
oh yeah, to come out from from last year, and I mean, I knew their defense was going to be good. They got Nebraska's defensive coordinator, and he brought over a ton of guys with him, or like coaches with him, and I think he brought over a couple of players. But that guy, I was like, "There's no way that defense is going to be bad. I don't know what their offense is going to look like, but that defense is going to be great," and they are. And the other thing about Florida State is their receivers are just they're ballers, they're playmakers. That one-handed grab in the end zone was insane.
Unreal.
That's NFL type stuff. Like I know you have guys doing it in college too, but I mean, that was an insane catch. The playmakers, they're a scary team. Very
Yeah.
scary. Very scary.
Definitely a team that no one wants to run into at this point of the season. I think another one is like we talked about earlier was Clemson.
Yeah.
They take that loss to LSU early on. LSU, they're for real. But then to come out and you know beat Troy 27-16, that's not
And
something you want to
struggle
see.
with it. Yeah.
No, that's not anything that I'm impressed with.
They were what was the halftime of that game was embarrassing. They were losing to Troy at halftime.
Yeah, they were down 16-3 at halftime.
16-3 at halftime.
Yep. Now they shut them out in the second half.
Yeah, they did.
They came back, scored 24 points in the second half, but man, that's not something you want to see because they're they're gonna it's gonna end up being like what they did against LSU. It's gonna be a loss when they start playing these better teams. They're not gonna be able to come out, lay a goose egg in that first half, and then come back
No.
out and just light up the scoreboard. Good teams aren't gonna allow that.
Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. All right. We got oh, hey, you upset one of our fans last week, and she might live in your house.
Oh man, good old Aggies. You can't say a whole
Yeah.
lot. No, I'm not an Aggie fan, but I am by marriage, so I have the pleasure of watching them every week. A lot better game this week than week one. I'm still not convinced their quarterback Marcel Reed's going to be the answer. He puts up some good numbers, but if you watch the full game, he just doesn't look very consistent. He doesn't have the best arm. The dude
Yeah.
can run with the best of them, and
Yeah,
so
he's definitely a runner. The dude
yeah,
could run. I'm not
if
gonna
he
race.
if he can figure out the other components of playing that position at quarterback, then I think he's going to be for real. But man, they're sticking with him. It'll be interesting to see when they start playing some real teams. How well he's going to be able to go out there and compete. Does he accomplish what he needs to, or does he kind of fall back into those struggles that we've continued to see from him now 2 years in a row?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens when they actually play like a real team, see how he does, because they're gonna real teams are good at stopping what you're good at, and then they make you do what you're uncomfortable with, is which
Yep.
his is throwing. And I mean, he had some good deep throws and some impressive throws, but I mean, just like how I'm concerned with Arch right now, it's those ones that really matter, those tight throws you got to make in the windows, and the clutch plays you got to make, and it's just doesn't seem like he's gonna be that guy, but
I
who knows?
haven't seen anything that tells me he's going to. I
Yeah.
think next, they got a pretty tough schedule coming up with Notre Dame next week, and then
Mhm.
Auburn. Mississippi State is always a hard
Yeah,
test for
they're
A&M. Then they got Florida, who's golly, I don't know if that guy's gonna be head coach much longer. But I mean, they're in the SEC. This is what they sign up for. So I
yeah, it
think
is.
next week's gonna be a good test. Playing at Notre Dame. They're still top ranked team, so looking forward to that matchup for sure.
We got the Red Raiders, another blowout.
Pew pew pew, man, loving it,
Pew, pew,
loving
pew.
everything about it so far, man. Guns up, wreck 'em tech. It's been a lot of fun to watch. We're gonna start getting into the tougher part of the schedule here soon. But I'm really hoping that our offense can keep up what we've done so far. The biggest thing for me, the first 2 weeks has been that defense, whether it's the pass rush, stopping the run. So I'm going to be watching real closely to see if my Red Raiders can continue this surge and proven that we spent money, good money on good players.
Who cares? It's just money. Just throw it at them. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm excited to see Texas Tech. I always find myself rooting for them. I mean, out of all the Texas teams, they're usually the one that I root for. Not a huge Aggie fan, not a big TCU fan, not a big SMU fan. So it's just, mm,
I think a lot of that comes back from, back in the Mike Leach days, man, bringing out the air raid, establishing that dominant offense.
oh, yeah.
They kind of still have that swagger about them. You expect some of those things. So, even before I was an alumni there or even attending, I was always loved watching their games. And so, you know, I'm really excited for this season. There's so many things to look forward to. If we can get out there and win our first Big 12 title and, you know, compete for a spot in the college football playoff, then I'm going to call it a win. But I'm gonna keep expectations low. Let's at least get to Arlington. Let's get to the Big 12
Pump the
championship
brakes.
game first. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah, that's the big hype that I have for Nebraska right now. Is just everybody's we're back, and I'm like, dude, chill. Everybody, just calm down. Our defense is still a little shaky. I mean, we had a great game against this team. I mean, this team was nobody. I can't even remember who we even played because I don't even know who they were. And then we got Houston Christian. And I'm like, Houston Christian ain't gonna be anybody either. But yeah,
it's
could
hard
be
to
a
be
good year.
convincing. Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah,
it could be, but it's like the same thing for Tech. The first two games, you've only seen your offense 2 quarters each game, or
yeah,
not your offense, but your starters. And it's like, all right, I want to see my team go out there and play their starters, for a full game to see how well we compete. Because that's another thing going to these lower level schools playing these cupcakes is that a is that a bad start for your team and to go out there and only play a half? Like they're traditionally going to go out there and play a full game. So we'll see
yeah,
if we'll see how things shake out. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the college football season now that we're going to start getting to the meat of the schedule.
yeah. I think the good thing that comes out of those games is just like getting comfortable, getting back into it, knocking out those like cobwebs. But it also in the same aspect, once you run into that big team, hopefully you can keep that confidence after they punch you in the mouth in the first 5 minutes of the game or whatever.
Yeah,
And who knows? Maybe you don't get punched in the mouth. Maybe you just take off with it and you keep riding that high. But yeah, there's definitely pros and cons of coming out and playing some cupcakes teams or starting out heavy and seeing what you're made of right out the gate. But yeah, I want to get into a little bit of the top 25. SF kind of a little bothers me a little bit. They jump all the way up to 18. I know they came in and beat two ranked teams right off the bat, and I'm high on USF just being a good football team, but jumping jumping past Alabama just because Alabama has one loss. I think Alabama's a really good football team. I don't know if I just don't know where
yeah,
these votes come from. But I mean, Indiana's good football team. Tech would give South Florida a good run for their money. I think Missouri's also another really good football team, and Auburn. Those are all teams that are under South Florida. And I'm like, maybe they get that respect because they come out the gate playing two ranked teams. But I guess we'll find out when they play Miami.
yeah. I think this
I
is
just,
there. They could be a one and done in the rankings for the year. You know, if they come out and get wiped by Miami, okay, we know it was
Yeah,
just a kind of a fluke. Those first two teams probably shouldn't have been ranked anyways. But yeah, the fact that they jumped from non-ranked to ranked all the way up to
exactly.
18, ahead of Alabama, Utah, Tech, Michigan, Auburn, Mizzou, like that's all right. Ah, I'll be interested to see. Like if they come out and beat Miami, okay,
Yeah,
there's something going on there, and they're gonna be someone to watch out for. But we'll see. We'll see how things shake out.
no, that's it. I mean, and it's I mean, then you sit here and you look at Clemson at 12. They lose to LSU, and they struggle with Troy, and they're sitting there at 12, and you're just like, I feel like they should have had a massive drop. If I was anybody voting on that, I'd just be like, you should be down in the 20s. But I
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe there's a method to their madness, or I just, is there any way possible we can go the first 4 weeks without a rank? I mean, they can still do their voting and move people around without us seeing it. And then as fans, we can just sit here and constantly push out all this stuff about, oh, here's my top 25. Here's my top 25. I think these teams should be in the top 25. I think it would almost be an exciting thing to see if we could even, we lost Parker. We'll see if he rejoins. We got a little bit of dropout. Welcome back.
thank you. Technical difficulties here on a late Monday night.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. We got it. You're back. Welcome back.
Back. Thanks,
But yeah, I
sir.
was just saying it would be fun if you could just have that to where like around week 4, week 5, they push out a top 25 and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I was close. I have this many teams in the top 25. They did and whatever." The preseason top 25 is just it's a fluke. I mean, I feel like a lot of these teams are going to fall out of the top 25, or there's going to be a bunch of teams that just go from being in the top 10 all the way down to the bottom of the top 25, and I'm just like,
I, I
it's like a tease at this
I
point.
love the idea of that concept, but they would never do it. How are they ever
Mm-mm.
going to have a week one number one Texas versus number three Ohio State? They're not.
Yeah,
But man, that would be so
yeah,
entertaining just to sit there and have all these people speculating. You know, you'd have Vegas odds on what are the first rankings going to be week four, week five. Like that would be so much fun to sit there and watch and see. And it would really kind of eliminate some of these trashy, first 1, 2, 3 weeks of these rankings where none of it makes
hmm
sense.
absolutely, yeah. Uh, Trademark that. That idea is ours. Okay, Vegas. If you want to do something like that, you got to get in contact with us. But yeah, I just the top 25. I get so mad at it every week when it comes out, and I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, we all know what's rankings matter. That'll be later on in the year, but until then, as fans, we're all just going to sit here and be frustrated, wondering why the hell is UCF jumping every team that is going to be dominating them on the
Yeah,
field?
yeah. It's gonna be. I can't wait for week 3 to see USF in the against Miami. That'll be fun. I'm pumped to watch that game, and like I was pumped to watch them against Kansas, and I was like, they're gonna do this. They're literally gonna do this 2 weeks in a row.
Yep. Cir-
How long can that quarterback hang on to it too? That's what
Circle that
another thing.
game. I mean, if they come out and
Mark it down.
mark it down, like even if they come out and you know keep it close, then I think that's going to be a big win, maybe at least a moral victory. I hate moral victories, but if they keep it close with Miami, then yeah, they're probably more for real than a lot of people are giving them credit for right now.
Yeah, because I mean, Miami's ranked number 5 now. How legit that is, who knows? So we will see in week 3. What's a that's I guess that's one our biggest game in week 3 to watch.
Yeah.
Do you have another?
Not necessarily top of mind that I can think of right now. What other ranked matchups are there?
Well, we talked about A&M and Notre Dame. That's another
That's
good
another one that
one.
I'll be watching there. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd say any of the top 15 schools or anyone that's playing, as a ranked opponent, within the top 15, definitely going to be interested in some of those there. But yeah, definitely other than Miami and UCF, going to be interesting to watch and see how the Aggies come out and play. against an actual really good opponent.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. The other thing or the other game I just looked at, Georgia and Tennessee is another good one. Um, and then I saw one more. I had it right here. I had it right here. Oh, Clemson and Georgia Tech.
Ooh, that's gonna be a sneaky good game.
Oh
You
yeah,
think Georgia Tech's gonna be able to pull that one off?
I after watching Clemson against Troy, I could only assume that Georgia Tech's going to come out and give them a run for their money. Who did Georgia Tech just? I thought they just played a team that was actually. Oh, they beat Colorado right out the gate.
But yeah,
Everybody was saying that Colorado was going to be a decent team this year and get back on that train that they were on last year or whatever. And I was like, they weren't even on a train
no,
last year.
they just had
They just had
two high
two
profile players.
players. Yeah,
One good, one really
but
good player, and one that was just a good college player. We'll see if he ever does anything in the NFL. But
yeah,
speaking of the NFL, man, oh man, oh man, week one.
it was a good one. I mean, tight games, really good games, some heartbreaks for some of us. Actually, both of us. I'm a Cowboys fan and a Lions fan more, but um, the Lions just get blown out by the Packers. I mean, it doesn't really look like it in the score, but that game was so frustrating to watch. And to watch Micah Parsons just tear through that offensive line. At first, I think he played in 11 plays before half, and he had a huge
Yep,
impact on the game
yep,
in 11 plays. I was like, this is insane. Like, he's barely on the field and he's tearing our offense apart.
yep. I mean, this is the whole reason Dallas, Jerry Jones, you don't give up a generational talent like that. I don't care what picks you got, what run stopper you got for up the middle. The guy played 45% of their snaps. Like you said, the first half, he came out, hardly played, was dominant. You know, playing 45% of the snaps, he had three quarterback pressures, resulting in one, a 2 yard loss, another one resulting in an interception. And my lord, that third one where he got the sack on Jared Goff, chasing him down, you know how terrifying that would be? So he got up to a top speed of 18.5 miles per hour, chasing him down from the other side of the play. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and it looked like he could have got even up to a higher speed if he wanted to. I mean, the guy's a game wrecker. You know, I'm gonna be sitting here as a Cowboys fan wondering what are we gonna do with those 2 first-round picks? If
Yeah,
like
it better be good.
what are you gonna do? Draft another quarterback? Well, you just paid one of the most money in the
Yeah.
NFL. Like, what else are you gonna go get that's gonna equivalent what Micah Parson brings to you? Uh, Man, he is a scary guy to defend. I'm still a fan of the dude. Watching him week in week out,
Hmm.
he's so dominant. He wrecked that whole game for them.
He did. I mean, I was sitting there watching it and I just kept thinking, I was like, at some point, the Lions are going to like pick it up and we're going to win this game. And it never happened for us. We couldn't get anything going. The Packers they looked so good. Jordan Love looked good. Like everybody on their team looked good. I was just like, golly. And I mean, that's a big game for the Lions right out the gate. Those two teams hate each other.
Oh yeah,
And, and to see someone that from another team that I like come in and just destroy my team, I'm just like, makes me want to just hate the Cowboys, but not even the Cowboys, just Jerry.
yep. It's
It's very
I
frustrating.
guess the only props I can give Jerry was not trading him to a division rival. Did you see what came out?
Yeah.
What they finally came out with? What the Eagles they made a really strong push for Micah. Apparently,
Oh
they
gosh.
offered 2 first-round picks, I believe a third and a fifth, and maybe one more pick. And I'm just glad we didn't at least trade him to them. I don't know how they would have made it work with the salary cap, but Howie Roseman and the Eagles, they always do. So I'm just really glad that
Could
they
yeah.
didn't trade him
Could you
that.
imagine that first game?
It would have been the most embarrassing thing ever. Micah probably
That
would have
would have been
destroyed us.
horrible.
Yeah. I probably would turn it
He would have
off.
had so much anger.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been so much revenge anger. I mean,
I mean,
that game would have been rough,
man.
so rough.
But speaking of the Cowboys, they went toe to toe with the champs. The Eagles
They
right
did.
now, they're the flagship team in the NFL. They beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They come out, a lot of high expectations, and the Cowboys kept up with them. They lost a close one. It really, that, in my opinion, that game came down to Miles Sanders fumbling after that, what he rambled off like a 40 something yard run, something like that, and
Mhm.
fumbled it a play or two later. Like, I think if the way the defenses were playing that second half, long rain delay kind of ruined the momentum of that game.
Yeah.
Defenses stepped up, made some adjustments. I think if the Cowboys capitalize on that drive before the fumble and score, we might be looking at a different outcome. But I was really satisfied with the Cowboys. One of the biggest question marks this year was going to be their run game. We didn't draft a running back very high. The guy that we did draft out of Texas, Blue, didn't even play. Was a
Yeah,
healthy scratch or something
mm,
like that. But
I think he was ruled out of
yeah,
that game.
they didn't even play him, like, or he didn't even suit up. But, they went out and got Javonte Williams. He looks solid. Their fir
He does look
their
solid. He looks really
their
good.
first round draft pick, their guard, he looked amazing. Their offensive line looks like it's starting to, come back to what we're used to there. Um, but no, I'm really excited. I think my biggest loser of the week on that one there is gonna be CeeDee Lamb, 4 drops. That
Absolutely.
was extremely disappointing. You get paid way too much money to drop that
Yeah,
many balls and high intense moments like that.
yeah, it's those were catches as well that or, like, those are balls that he usually catches. That last one he dropped where he dove for it, okay, I'll give him a little bit of slack on that, but hey, man, you're making millions of dollars to make that catch, and it hits you in the hands.
I don't
And then the over the shoulder one that dropped right into the pocket. I mean, Dak couldn't have thrown a
know.
better.
Dak looks like he's back to 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Finished second MVP rankings. He looked like he's back to being comfortable, fully healthy.
Yep.
So I think their offense is going to be pretty legit this year. I don't expect CeeDee Lamb to continue with those struggles. He'll pick it back up.
No.
Um,
Yeah.
if the defense can, I mean, not every team's going to have a running back, or not a running back, a quarterback that can run as well as Philadelphia. And
Yeah.
so, if they're able to make some adjustments there, maybe throw a spy out there, keeping that quarterback in contained, then you have your offense. That running game keeps going. No, I think we'll be able to be pretty competitive this year. But just as always, the Cowboys have fooled me way too many times. I'm not getting my hopes up because I know how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been on this podcast before and talked about Dak, and I haven't ever been really nice to him, but I was very impressed with how he played that game. The only thing that worried me was that his mobility seems
It's not,
a little slower than he was, and I'm sure it's from his breaking his
yeah,
leg,
it's
but
not there ever
yeah,
since.
it's been he I think he rolled out and, like, ran once, and I was like,
Three
"God,
three
he
yards.
looks like he's clunking
Yeah.
along, like,
Eh,
heel toe." I'm like, "Dude, get up on those toes and run."
Nah, he
But
he
yeah.
looks worse than Tom Brady at the end of his career trying to run the ball, man. Like he,
Yeah,
he,
yeah.
he's not meant to move out of the pocket anymore. So, man, keep drafting more offensive linemen. Protect that dude because he looked really sharp.
He did,
Decision
yeah.
making
He
was
looks
there.
good.
Yeah,
He looks really good. Yeah, I was impressed. Williams, hard runner, loved it. I love running backs that run hard and through people. That's just I love that kind of football, and it's good to see another running back like that. Zeke was probably the last one they had that was a really, really hard runner like that, and I'm excited for their season. I'm not gonna say that this loss is gonna do anything to them really. I think it was more of an exciting loss than it was a, "Oh, it's another year," but no, they looked really good, uh, without that fumble, and CD catches those balls, and that's a whole different game.
yeah. No, it's there are definitely some disappointments. A lot of highlights. I'll be excited to kind of see if we can go out and just take care of business, beat down on the
Mhm.
Giants next week. I'll be a lot
Yeah.
happier. It's not going to convince me that, oh, well, we're back, but it's going to let me know that, hey, maybe what we saw week one against the Eagles was pretty for real.
Yeah, That'll be a good game, fun game to watch.
Yeah. What other things shocked you week 1? Any players that stand out? Any blowouts?
Egbuka.
Ooh,
He
boy.
was he was high on my list right out the gate. I watched him against Nebraska at Ohio State, and I was like, "This dude can ball out." Like, everybody was over Jeremiah Smith, and I was like, "This Egbuka guy can catch, he can run, he's got it all, he runs really nice crisp routes." And he showed out in the 40 or not the 49ers, the Bucks game, and I kinda thought that at the beginning. I was just like, Mike Evans I mean, he's still a really good receiver, but he's kinda on the outs. I said last week, Godwin's not really the receiver he used to be, and Egbuka's kinda that Godwin type guy, and I was like, this is gonna be a healthy young guy that can catch the ball and can do something with it afterwards," and he did that. 23 points in fantasy football right off the gate. That's
He looks like a natural. That dime
yeah.
that they threw to him right on the end zone where he just caught it,
Mhm.
like, he's a natural catcher of the football, and
Yeah.
he's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. Keep feeding that man the ball 'cause, I'm gonna enjoy watching that guy. Definitely
Yeah.
definitely worth the hype on him. You know, maybe some other teams are probably sitting there kicking themselves for not drafting earlier on.
Yeah, yeah, I did it. I did it in my auction draft on my fantasy football. I fought for that guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I literally fought for that. No, wait, nope, that was Pickens, I think. That might have been Pickens. I can't remember if I got him that. I think I fought for him too,
yeah.
but yeah, that's just yeah, if you picked him up on your fantasy team and he won you the first week 1 game, give him a shout out because that dude's a freaking baller. Trying to see what he ended up with at the end.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think he had a pretty good stat line. I know he had, what, 2 touchdowns? Uh,
Yeah.
did,
Another guy that was that Penix's first, start?
yes, it
I
was.
can't remember if he played last year. Yeah.
Yeah, he might have filled in possibly, but no, I believe that was his first start. Man, he looked the part, man. He came in and, uh, I mean, I know they ended up losing that game, but for a quote unquote rookie quarterback to come in and compete with Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, who are a really, really
Yeah.
consistently good team. He looks solid, man. He moving in and out of the pocket. We know he has that big arm. He can throw those deep balls. Another guy that I'm going to be sitting there looking forward to watching every single week. You know, how well is he going to be able to play?
That's that's another thing, like, the exciting thing about the NFL right now is all these young quarterbacks. I feel like we're getting out of that generation of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Peyton. I mean, Peyton's been gone for a long time, but all those guys that were these huge guys, and you watched it
Stafford,
every year, and you're like,
yeah,
"Yeah," and you're just like, "What are these guys gonna do this year?" Now it's like a toss-up. You're like, "What young guys are gonna step up?" Josh Allen's starting to step up and be a new generational great. Patrick Mahomes was already in there.
yep.
I mean, it's exciting to see these new guys like mold into their positions and become these amazing quarterbacks. Like Josh Allen winning that first week 1 in a nail biter, minute 25 to or minute and 30 something to get down the field. Does it just like Tom Brady did, throwing in passes that are just like perfectly thrown. And we watched that game right at the end, and I was like, "Golly, dude!" I was like, I almost made me a Bills fan. Like, I love that dude.
He's
I don't
hard
know
not to
what it is
like.
about him. Yeah, he's
He
super
has
hard not to
he has
like.
that swagger, man. He's a winner. He's tough. He's a hard guy not to like. You know, even if you don't like him, man, you have to at least respect his game. You know, he's a lot of fun. You know, I look forward to seeing how some of these younger quarterbacks do. You know,
Absolutely.
speaking of maybe we thought was washed, Aaron Rodgers, is this dude back?
Dude, it's gotta be the mushrooms, all right? He's been talking about doing microdosing mushrooms. I think he's onto something here. We need to start doing this more often, all right? Did he I don't know if it's true that he went somewhere and spent, like, a ton of time at a monk tree or whatever it's called, but that cracked me up too. I was like, "Dude, this guy is so weird and in so many ways."
He's a
And
strange
came
cat.
back from an Achilles tear in, like, a least amount of time I've ever seen, and he's just comes out with the Steelers and wins their first games against his rival, I guess they wanted to call it. I don't think it was really a rival. I don't think the Jets have any sore feelings to him. They
No,
came out and said that the coach wanted him to go somewhere else or told him that he's just on the wrong team.
Um,
And I mean, they had no hard feelings there. He
no,
just basically just trying to help him out.
I think he was excited
But
to
yeah,
be
that was
gone too.
exciting.
Man, no, that was
But
4
yeah,
touchdowns. He looked really dominant. Now, it's against the
22 for 30,
oof,
244 yards and 4
that
touchdowns.
might have been one of the
Yeah.
better performances week 1, just
Oh,
overall.
yeah.
I mean, it's not against anyone great. It's the Jets. Like, let's cool the Jets a little bit here, but we'll see how the 40-year-old can do for a full season. Not an Aaron Rodgers fan, but I do look forward to see, like, can he be the difference maker for the Steelers? Because we always know how dangerous they are. Um, how about Danny Dimes? Is
Any dimes?
change of scenery? Is this what it took for him? Just get out of the Giants organization, come over to the Colts, man. Like, welcome.
Dude.
Uh,
Yeah, it's
he balled out. It was unreal watching him. Just he has good legs, but man, he looked so good. That think that's the guy that the Giants thought they were drafting.
who wait, who you talking about here?
Daniel Jones for the Colts. Danny Dimes.
Okay. Okay. Threw me off there for a second when you said that last part. That's the thing, is it the Giants give away 2 people. I mean, Saquon was great at the Giants at first, and then he seems washed up, and everybody's like, "What's wrong with Saquon?" Blah, blah, blah. Goes to the Eagles, balls out. And then Daniel Jones and mockery. Everybody's making fun of him. Worst quarterback in the NFL, blah, blah. Goes to the Colts, 22 for 29, 272 yards. Only 1 touchdown, but we didn't see that at the
No,
Giants.
no.
And you're just like, maybe it's the Giants.
I think it's the Giants, man. It's like, you look at Aaron Rodgers couldn't fix the Jets. Maybe it's the Jets. Like
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, he gets a change of scenery, goes to the Colts, who it's not like they're supposed to be all great, but he made them look really good, balled out. It's like some of these players when they just get that change of scenery, they're able to turn it on. Maybe it's a system, maybe it's just not the right environment. But no, I really enjoyed watching that. You just always wonder, like, are the Giants ever going to get back to where they were? What's it going to take? Like the Panthers, they're the Giants and the
Yeah.
Panthers. They both still suck. Is that ever going to change? Like in the next 5 years? I'm going to go ahead and put my money on no.
The Panthers are really bad.
Golly,
Uh, the Giants game, I watched that whole game. There's things about him that I see that could be great. Like Scattaboo or Scatabo,
hmm
whatever his name is. Uh, he he looks great. Like he's really strong runner, looks like a beast. I mean, when they threw it to him on that sidelines there, and he literally just headbutted 2 guys and went for like 4 more yards. I was like, okay, you're throwing men off of you, grown
he's a
men.
dude,
But
and they got Malik
I,
Neighbors. They got a couple good edge
yeah,
rushers. Like,
Neighbors was he's upset. He's mad.
yeah,
Give him the ball.
well,
I'm tired of seeing Russell Wilson play for these teams and then just I don't know. I think he needs to retire.
yeah, Mr. Unlimited is washed up. He's done.
Yeah.
I think this is probably his last stop.
Yeah. I mean, they got someone back there. I want to see Dart play.
Yeah,
He's a big dude. He's a tall quarterback. Looks like he's got his stuff together. And Wan'Dale Robinson came out in that game. And I mean, he didn't do a whole lot last year. He looked like he was going to be talented. I think he struggled with a couple injuries last year, but he comes out and plays that game and has some pretty impressive catches and runs. And I'm just like Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson. You got a good 1-2 running back, Tracy, and I guess you got Singletary too, but he didn't really do much. And then Scatterboo. But I'm just like,
they got the
why
guys.
don't y'all put some of these younger guys in? Yeah, just give these younger guys a shot. Russell Wilson is just, I
He's not.
I don't like it. I don't like him.
He's not it. He's not going to be it. I think they already came out and said he's going to start week 2, which I'm not mad about. Playing my boys, we'll go ahead and take him. But I believe here, early mid season, you'll probably see a switch. You're probably going to get a lot of Giants fans chanting for that quarterback switch.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah,
Yeah. I want to see him play. I'm excited to see that guy get in.
it'll be an interesting one there. Another Another kind of shocker there was, what's his name? Samson for the Browns, their running back there, man. That was a
Yeah.
great performance.
And the Browns, I didn't really think they were gonna be anything special, honestly. They played the Bengals, and the Bengals usually don't have a really hot start at the beginning of the year. I think this was, like, I can't remember how many years they've lost the first game of the year, and had a slow start. I think Burrow finally started with
A
a good
win, the
win.
first time in what, like 3
Yeah,
years, they
I
usually
think
lose
that's
the
right,
first
yeah.
couple games of the year.
Mhm. Yeah, and they have, like, a super slow start, so coming out with them, kudos to them, but the Browns, I mean, they got players on their
They
team.
do.
I think they can. I mean, Flacco in there, he's not doing bad. He went 31 for 45, 290 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's not
I
bad
just don't
for the
I don't know
guy.
how far he's gonna take you. You know, he's
Right.
we'll see what he has left in the tank, but no, Dylan Simpson came out, he looked good there, you know, and I think that was kind of a surprise for a lot of people because what did they draft, what, Quinton Judkins? What,
Mhm.
and but he's not, I guess he's still waiting to play with all his stuff going on, but, you know,
Yeah.
if they're still waiting on to see what the punishment the NFL is going to hand down to Judkins, hey man, Sampson's going to be a good guy behind the, sitting back there in the backfield,
Oh, yeah.
ready to take those carries.
Yeah, Samson brought in 8 receptions for 64 yards. That's what you like to see too. The NFL loves those guys that can get out of the pocket and catch a ball.
Yeah,
Not a lot of those running backs are decent at catching the ball outside the pocket.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Tillman's another guy. I said last year he ended the year good. He had a touchdown in this game, 5 receptions, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
solid.
Um, Another guy that I was like, another sleeper for your fantasy as well. I picked up that guy as well. That it's just everybody was high on Judy, but I was like, Judy had a good game too.
Yeah,
But I think Tillman's gonna take off there.
yeah. No, Tillman's solid. You know, if they can keep that quarterback play consistent, I think they're going to be a pretty decent team overall. You know, maybe sneak into the playoffs there. But what what's your best game of the week?
For NFL, oh, it's gotta be the Bills and Ravens. That game was so exciting. I mean, to have the Bills just down the entire game, and the Ravens seemed like they were just controlling that game. They looked really good too. And then just have them come back from a 15 down by 15 and come back and win that game at the end. That was that was awesome. And also Prater had been on the team for 2 years when kicks a game-winning field goal, and they were talking about him they were like, "He's only been on this team for 2 years." Like, this dude's got he's been in the league forever. He's got, like, 24 they showed, like, a stat, I think he had, like, 24 game-winning field goals. It's like, he's fine. He's kicking a freaking boot. Like, it was like a 20-yard field goal or something like that. I was like,
He's fine, man. No,
but
he got it done for him. But
yeah.
no, man, that fourth quarter, I was disappointed going to bed in the third quarter, thinking, I think we know how this is going to go. Down what? Down 34-19 going into the fourth. They put up 22 points in the fourth quarter. The Bills
Mhm.
did. It,
22.
Josh Allen is for real, and it's not like he was going up against just some other team that doesn't have it. He's going up against the Ravens,
Yeah.
man. Those are probably the
One of the top-rated teams in the NFL right
top
now.
two of the top AFC teams. Throw the Chiefs and maybe a few others out there, but golly, those are two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, just duking it out.
Mhm.
Man, that was seeing some of those highlights, looking at how that game shook out. That shocked me when I woke up.
Oh, yeah. That's 33 for 46, 394 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Josh Allen. First
You can't
week.
get better than that.
Dude, he just balled out in the fourth quarter. Another huge guy in that game because this guy just keeps surprising me. Derrick Henry. I keep thinking, such a big dude. They're going to be able to stop him. They're going to figure out you just got to hit him in the legs. Doesn't work. He was just running through people on the Bills. I was like,
Unreal.
I was like, crazy,
I'm-
crazy. 18 carries, 169 yards, and 2
that,
touchdowns.
that's he. Is he ever gonna stop? Like, is he ever just
I
not gonna be a
never,
freight train, man?
yeah. I never pick him up in fantasies. I'm like, nah, he's not gonna be good this year. Nah, he's not gonna be good this year. And then every year, boom, boom.
Y-
I'm like,
you almost kind of put him in that category. It's like, all right, is Saquon gonna be able to do it again? Should I go with CMC? It's like, maybe we should go with Derrick Henry every year. Like, the dude's gonna get it done. He's proven it time and time again.
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson
He's a workhorse.
didn't throw the ball that many. He only threw the ball 19 times, but who needs to throw the ball when you have freaking Derrick Henry behind you? Zay Flowers for the Ravens, 7 catches, 143 yards, a touchdown. Like, they got it done.
He balled
Their
out.
defense failed them. Both teams.
Yeah.
It's
Well, yeah, both
81
both teams'
points,
defense looked a little shaky.
80 plus
Yeah.
points in an NFL game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think there's one other game, the Steelers and Jets were pretty high, but other than that, there was not really
No,
a high scoring game like that.
no, definitely.
It's insane.
Definitely extremely entertaining. It's a lot of fun rookie performances to watch, week
Oh,
1.
yeah.
There was some injuries too that we're going to see how that shakes out, kind of going into that
CMC?
going into that fantasy corner, CMC. Yeah, I mean, it was just like, dude, like, you I guess fantasy wise, I know we talked about Ibuka, rookie hype versus how they actually, the reality there. Any big fantasy points wise for any rookies that you saw?
Egbuka, and then I forgot who I put on here
Uh,
earlier.
let's see. I know Genty had a decent showing. I don't think he lit up
Yeah,
this.
Genty did
Yeah,
he didn't light it up. Who was the running back that took it? Hampton
Hampton.
did alright. That Marriott guy, the Marriott Case Keeney, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. I'll have it in a second.
Yeah. Did
But yeah, that's
did you have a chance to watch any of the Jags game? Travis Hunter. The splits he took on offense and defense.
see, no, I didn't get to watch any of that. I kinda missed out on that part. It's so hard to watch. There's so many games going on at the same time, and I wasn't watching NFL Red Zone, so
Red zone, dude.
it was just kinda I know, right?
So speak.
I was at work for this NFL time, so
What is his name? Scott Hansen or whatever, Red Zone host. He always used
yeah.
to say, you know, here we go, 7 hours of commercial free football starts now. Well, now on Red Zone, they got bought out or whatever. They had
Yes.
4 15-second commercials, but I was sitting there at the very beginning waiting for him to say, 7 hours of commercial free football starts now. No, he said 7 hours of red zone football starts now. I was like, oh, these people, like, come on now. Like, it's just not the
There
same.
it is.
It's just not the same.
We're gonna There's gonna be an advertisement for everything.
Yep.
Yeah. That was their biggest thing when they sold NFL Red Zone was, "You don't have to get up. You better get a toilet where your seat is." Blah blah blah. I'm like, how do you make that pitch for so long and then all of a sudden you're just like, commercials. We got to make money. Commercials. We're not making enough money. Commercials.
Money, money, money,
I'm just
dude.
like, dude. I bet you. Guess what? Next year there's going to be another add-on. The Red Zone Plus.
Yeah.
NFL Red Zone Plus. You
Commercial
don't have to
free.
watch any advertisements.
Okay.
$50 a
$50
month.
$50 a week or a month or whatever. Like, yeah, I think it's like what, like
Yeah.
$12.99 right now. Like, but I think what I saw for their agenda was that was week 1 for commercials 15 seconds long, a minute of commercials. We'll see what they do the rest of the season. Like, if they start throwing in more commercials, and they were well timed, they didn't just throw them in while there were big plays going on. It was kind of like in the mix of
Yeah.
things while there's some slow stuff. But like, I think one or two of them that I saw, well, DraftKings is their biggest sponsor. And then one of the 15-second commercials was DraftKings. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, it's just, I didn't understand it. They were so short and simple that it was like, what was the point of that? You could have just kept half your audience happy by not having commercials.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah. I I don't understand why they did that. And maybe I was watching all those videos and stuff, and it was like, what NFL Red Zone's gonna be like now? And it was like showing some of the biggest plays from last year, and like right before it happened, it would be like cut and like
yep.
a Burger King advertisement. That was pretty funny. A rookie. This is the guy that I had down was Tyler Warren
Oh yeah.
at a tight
Yep.
end. Yeah, had a great game, and another rookie tight end was Fannin as well. Had another great game. So yeah, just more tight ends. I mean, I swear every year rookie tight ends. If you're gonna pick up a rookie and not feel that bad about it, just pick the top tight
No
end.
kidding, man.
And they're just balling out every single time.
Well, I mean, the
So,
Raiders, they got 2 good tight ends right now. Like, they
mhm,
Brock Bowers, he went down with that knee injury, but they say he's fine. But they still have I forget his last name. So that is it Mayer? I believe it's his last name.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but, like, he's still a stud too. Speaking of tight ends injuries, like George Kittle went down early, scored that
Mhm.
touchdown. Now looks like he's going to be out at least 3 to 5 weeks with that hamstring injury.
Yeah.
That 49ers they're struggling. Purdy's questionable. You got what,
Purdy's
Jennings?
questionable.
He's having an MRI.
Jawan Jennings.
Jawan.
Yeah. Yeah. And what we counted like five, anywhere from 5 to 7 receivers that have shoulder
Oh,
injuries.
yeah, we're looking at the injury report. All right, this guy shoulder injury. It's
Shoulder
like
injuries. Shoulder
what are they
injuries.
doing? Like, I'm not a big workout guy. Are they just not
Hey,
doing enough shoulders or what?
stop doing that over the head stuff.
Yeah.
Cut that out of your workouts.
Maybe
Pointless.
go back to the old school big pads, where it just looks like you're a lot bigger dude than you are. Maybe that's the key.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. We've always said that they ever since they took that neck machine out that we used to do in high school, the back
Yeah.
and forth one, the neck machine, dude, everybody's been getting hurt. You got to strengthen that neck.
I mean,
That's the most important
it's
part.
real important. They can take out targeting, but you still see these shoulder injuries, man.
Yeah. Oh man, the targeting is just. I haven't seen as much of it anymore. I feel like I didn't really watch. I guess I didn't really see much of it in the NFL, but college there was a ton
There's
of
a
it.
bunch of them in college
It was
still,
insane.
and I think that's
Yeah.
just younger guys still just trying to reel things
Yeah.
in. I think the biggest rule change that I saw week 1 in the NFL was the taunting. So you have a defensive linebacker just blow up through the hole, rail running back, stand over him and talk trash. And I forget which game I was watching. It was immediately a flag. They're
Yeah.
not tolerating any of the standing over or talking
Which is
trash. Like,
dumb.
I get the not standing over the guy because that's going to cause some
Yeah.
heat. But like when both players stand up, like let them talk for a second, then go spread them up, like split them up. But the whole standing over him, I get that personally. Like that's going to cause some tension.
Yeah. I've always said like the celebrations and stuff. I'm so glad they got rid of that. The penalties and that. I'm like, dude, these guys are getting paid millions. They're professionals. Let them celebrate in the end zone.
Yep.
It's an entertainment show.
Yep.
That's what it is. We're here for the show. We're here for the touchdowns. We're here for the big sacks. Let them celebrate all they want. The taunting and stuff. They've had a lot of fights in the NFL, I guess, and people have been. I mean, I think they had a game where someone got his helmet ripped off even this week
Yeah.
1. And you're just, I guess they're trying to dial back on that a little bit. But yeah, that's just, I don't know. They're getting paid millions. Let them do whatever they want. As long as they're not trying to kill each other, who cares?
Yeah. Well, you got billionaires sitting here, in their all white suits and their suites, probably thinking, oh, how dare they do this? We're going to change the rules.
I paid 20 million for that guy.
Yeah. But no, definitely so much, fun football to watch across college and NFL this past week. Looking forward to more of it. It's going to be a
Yes.
fun season, man.
Oh, we almost forgot to mention Jalen Carter spitting on Dak.
Oh my gosh, how did we forget that? Like, what a bonehead move! Like, I don't care what Dak came out and said afterwards. Like,
Funny.
what are you doing? Like,
I mean, the reason he's like, they showed the clip, they're like, Dak spit first. Like, dude, he spit like 5 yards in front of him. Like, and he spit on his own guys more than he spit on Jalen Carter. And then Jalen Carter comes up and literally almost spits in his face. And I'm like,
and it was like
what are you doing?
It was a loogie. He like sat there and he got that one together. Like he's like, I'm gonna spit almost on this guy's
really
face.
tried for that
like,
one,
dude. I was just
insane.
I was sitting there like mind blown. I'm like, there goes their best defensive player, if not the best defensive player, the D lineman in football. Like, what just happened? Like, that whole game was insane. Between watching Carter get booted before he even plays a snap to the 2-hour rain delay, like, holy crap, man!
Insane. It was crazy to me. And to have I mean, the ref was right there. Like, even the ref's face was just like, I was like, "Dude, come on." First game of the year, and, like, he looked all butthurt because Dak did it first too, and I was
Dak
like,
wasn't spitting
"He
on him.
didn't spit on
Dak
you,
does that all the
dude."
time. He moves out of the way of his lineman and he spits. You can go watch it.
Yeah,
Dak does it all the time. Like he didn't spit on you, dude. Like the fact that you like walked up to him and hawked a loogie in his face, like, all right, like you got some personal issues. Yeah, come on, man. Bone
that was crazy to me.
bonehead move of the week for sure.
Oh, yeah. Someone did it in college too, I didn't know it until, I think I was watching SportsCenter or something, and someone else got ejected in a college game for spitting on somebody, and I was like, "What is up with these guys spitting?
Like
Why is everybody spitting out
you
here?"
play football, go freaking knock
Yeah,
the piss out of him. Like
yeah. Quit spitting on people.
right?
You'll be alright.
It's like
You'll be
man
okay.
up.
Quit getting your feelings hurt.
Yeah. Oh, man, oh, man.
Ugh,
Well, anything else you can think of for the NFL this week?
not really.
Okay.
NFL is pretty much wrapped up, ready for week 3,
Yeah.
delivering that over. Texas sports?
Yeah, I mean, can't talk about Texas sports without talking about these Red Hot Rangers still. I know
Red Hot
we
Rangers.
talked about them a little bit last week. They were still on a good roll.
Mhm.
Man, this last series against the Astros took 2 out of 3 games, games 1 and 3. Game 2, what they
We needed that
yeah,
bad.
it was huge. Like game 2, they got blown out 11-0. I think that was another
Yeah,
DeGrom start, which is wild. But man, like 2 out of 3 games against the Astros, they're now well after today, like earlier that today, they beat the best team in baseball in the Brewers 5-0. 5 to
that's a huge
nothing.
win for
We're
us.
we're we're 1.5 games back of Seattle in the AL West for the wild card right now. Like we've played one more game, we've won the same amount, but we're 1 game back. Like, man, if we could have just kept Evaldi healthy this year, not
That's
man.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for us
Ugh,
because he's usually a guaranteed win when he comes in. He usually has his fluke games or whatever, but
eh,
yeah, that's usually
he-
we need him bad towards the end right
yeah,
here.
like he would have
But
been great. He's great in the playoffs. Like, he was pushing to be the MLB ERA leader this year. Like, but man, they've won the last 7 out of 10 games. They're winning series and not against bad teams. Like beating the Astros, beat the Brewers today. Like, well, it'll be interesting to watch and see. They've really come together. And again, like we talked about last week, some of these really good pickups have really turned out to be pretty good here, just overall. Just between the bats, like we were talking about before, Trent, like if their bats are going, they have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. They're going to be able to compete in every single game if those bats can at least get 3 to 5 runs.
yeah, Th this is something I just looked up because I watched a lot of their extra inning games or, like, close inning games, and the thing that impressed me about the Rangers is that when we get in those close games at the end, we're pretty good at pulling it out, and every single game that I've see on their schedule right here where they go into extra innings, we've won.
Yeah,
It's crazy, like, there's not a single loss where we went into extra innings and we lose the game.
I mean
That's kind of a crazy stat.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
they're a good baseball team, they just need to keep it together.
Yeah, it's just disappointing seeing Seager. He's out indefinitely. If we make the playoffs, they might try to bring him back. Simeon's done.
Yeah,
Evaldi's the biggest killer for me. But hey, you never know what's going to happen. October baseball will be here before we know it, and you know, you get into the playoffs, even if it's a wild card game. Hey, anything can happen.
it's gonna be I hope it happened 2023. Let's just do it again. Why not? Why not us?
Hey, I'm all down for it, man. Go Rangers.
Oh, yeah. Go Rangers.
Oh man.
Red Hot Rangers.
Well,
But I think we're pretty much
yeah. Well,
closing
before
up.
we do, what hot take you got this week? Any hot takes on college football?
I got those college football hot takes. SF beats Miami. I think it's gonna be a close game, and I think USF's gonna bring it out, and I think they're gonna show what they're made of. And then Huskers gonna put 100 points on Houston Christian.
Ooh, Hunter Burger. All right.
100 burger down on Houston Christian. No, I think they'll have hopefully, they have another shutout game and put up at least 60 again. I would love to see them go out there and do the same thing, keep that, offense rolling the way it is. I wanna see this defense evolve into something better too, but, those are my 2 big takes. What you got for the NFL?
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence, the Jags, they go down and beat the Bengals. I think they're gonna, pull that
Hopefully.
upset there, carry some of that momentum they had from week one. And then of course, I think the Cowboys go out and beat the Giants by like 14 points, 2 scores. I think it's gonna be a good statement win for the Cowboys this week, and then we'll roll in for the rest of the season. And so I'm looking forward to this week. There's so much good football across college and the pros to watch. It's going to be another exciting week, man.
It would be exciting to see the Cowboys put up 40 on the Giants.
Golly,
That'd be a good week.
uh, I'd be happy all week.
Yeah.
uh,
Alright. Well, y'all have it. This is Nothing Savvy. We're out.